The old mansion, nestled deep in the heart of the countryside, had always been shrouded in mystery. Surrounded by dense woods and a nearly forgotten dirt road, it was a place where secrets whispered through the rustling leaves and shadows played in every corner. It was to this mansion that Eleanor had been summoned. Eleanor was a young writer, fresh out of college, who had spent most of her life chasing stories. Her latest endeavor was a tale of mystery and intrigue, and the mansion seemed like the perfect place to gather inspiration. She arrived one gloomy evening, the sky overcast, raindrops tapping on the windshield of her car. She was greeted by the mansion's caretaker, Mr. Thornton. A man as enigmatic as the house itself. "Welcome, Miss Eleanor," he said, his eyes concealed by heavy, weathered brows. "You're expected in the study." Eleanor followed Mr. Thornton through the dimly lit halls, each step echoing off the ornate wallpaper and the gleaming wooden floors. The mansion felt like a relic from another time, and Eleanor couldn't help but shiver as she entered the study. Seated behind a massive oak desk was a woman in her 60s, regal and composed. She introduced herself as Amelia Blackwood, the last living member of the Blackwood family. She had been Eleanor's contact, but the details of her letter had been vague. Eleanor had been invited to the mansion for a reason, and she was determined to discover what that reason was. Amelia Blackwood leaned forward, her piercing blue eyes scrutinizing Eleanor. "You may be wondering why I asked you here, Miss Eleanor." Eleanor nodded, her curiosity piqued. "Yes, I must admit I'm curious." Amelia gestured to a painting on the wall, depicting a beautiful woman in her prime. "That, Miss Eleanor, is my late daughter, Cecilia. She left behind an heirloom, a locket of great sentimental value. But it has been stolen, and I need your help to retrieve it." Eleanor was intrigued. "Why would someone steal a locket? And how can I help?" Amelia's voice was tinged with sadness. "The locket is rumored to contain a secret that has haunted our family for generations. I believe it holds the key to our family's history, a history that must be unveiled. You're a writer, Miss Eleanor, and I've heard of your talent for uncovering secrets. I believe you can help me find it." Eleanor was hesitant but couldn't resist the allure of a mystery. "I'll do my best, Mrs. Blackwood." Eleanor's investigation began the next day, as Mr. Thornton guided her through the mansion. She examined Cecilia's old room, the dusty remnants of her life preserved in fading photographs and half-finished diaries. It was a room that seemed to mourn its former inhabitant, just as Amelia did. As Eleanor dug deeper, she discovered that the locket had disappeared only a week ago. The mansion was not as secluded as it seemed, and it was known that there had been a few unfamiliar faces in the village recently. Eleanor decided to start there. In the village, she met a few of the townsfolk. The more she inquired about the locket, the more she sensed unease and hesitation in their responses. It seemed that the locket held a significance far greater than its monetary value. Eleanor's first real lead came from the village's historian, a man named Oliver. He had a collection of old letters and documents related to the Blackwood family, and among them, he found a reference to the locket. The document suggested that the locket was not just a piece of jewelry, it was said to contain a map leading to a hidden treasure. Eleanor's investigation led her to question the loyalty of those around her. Mr. Thornton, always silent and watchful, had a mysterious air about him. She couldn't help but wonder if he was hiding something. The village residents, particularly those who had been in the vicinity when the locket was stolen, seemed to be guarding their secrets. One evening, as Eleanor was poring over old family records in the mansion's library, she noticed an envelope hidden behind a bookshelf. Inside, she found a series of letters exchanged between Cecilia and her close friend, Beatrice. The letters revealed a deep friendship and hinted at something more. Eleanor couldn't help but feel that Beatrice might have information about the locket. She tracked down Beatrice, who had long left the village but still lived in a nearby town. Beatrice's face paled when Eleanor mentioned the locket. She confessed that she and Cecilia had been searching for the treasure it supposedly led to. They believed it was hidden somewhere on the Blackwood estate. With Beatrice's information, Eleanor's investigation shifted back to the mansion. She revisited Cecilia's room, scouring every nook and cranny. As she examined a small, hidden compartment in a drawer, she found an old, tattered map. The map appeared to lead to a location deep in the forest, marked with an X. Eleanor shared her discovery with Amelia, who grew increasingly anxious. "You must find the locket, Miss Eleanor," she urged. "It's not just a matter of sentiment, it holds the key to our family's past, a past that has been buried for too long." Eleanor decided to follow the map, but she couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching her. The woods were dense, the trees casting long shadows. As she drew closer to the X on the map, she stumbled upon a hidden clearing. In the clearing, Eleanor discovered a moss-covered, ancient chest. With trembling hands, she opened it, and inside, she found the locket. It was an exquisite piece, but the real discovery was a parchment that accompanied it. The parchment contained a handwritten confession from Amelia Blackwood. Amelia had stolen the locket herself, fearing that the family secret would be exposed. The secret, as it turned out, was a dark one. The Blackwood family had acquired their wealth and estate through ill-gotten means, involving blackmail and corruption. The locket contained evidence of these misdeeds. Eleanor confronted Amelia with the confession. The old woman broke down in tears, admitting to her transgressions. The locket was returned to its rightful place, and the truth about the Blackwood family's past was revealed to the world. The mystery of the stolen locket had been solved, but it had exposed a far greater secret. The Blackwood family, once revered in the village, now faced the judgment of their neighbors. Eleanor's role in unearthing the truth had consequences, and she felt a mixture of satisfaction and sadness as she left the mansion. As she drove away from the old mansion, Eleanor couldn't help but reflect on the power of secrets and the stories they held. The Blackwood family's legacy had crumbled, but the truth had been set free, and perhaps, in the end, that was the only way to heal the wounds of the past. The enigmatic heirloom, once a symbol of mystery, had become a key to understanding the tangled web of lies that had bound the Blackwood family for generations. Eleanor's journey had been a whirlwind of secrets, revelations, and unexpected discoveries, leaving her with a deeper appreciation for the mysteries of life. And so, the mansion in the heart of the countryside continued to guard its secrets, as the whispers of the past faded into the rustling leaves and shadows of its history.